can't use engines. So it makes sense.
Fuck's this white stuff outside.
Dude, what a horrible day.
Pardon me for leading off with it, just like straight through the gates
29 degrees.
with the F-bomb, but
cold.
I'll tell you what, it's unpleasant out there.
Yep. Freezing.
The real feels in the like 14.
Did you drive your truck today?
No.
Oh.
No,
so
I walked.
You braved it still.
Yeah. I'm a brave man.
Holy animal. I was going to ask you about your truck. We don't see it anymore. Did the mob come and get it?
The Russians came and they need it for the war effort.
Is that what happened?
They know Toyotas are where it's at for the war effort. So
that's what ISIS was using. So
I'm guessing that as soon as they get it though, they'll run it out of gas, and then some Ukrainians will steal it with their farm tractor, and then probably give it to some Afghanistanis.
If I stole a tank, I'm not giving it to anybody. That's my tank. It stays on my property. I would probably just sit and drink coffee.
I'd hook up a plow to it.
Yeah,
track vehicle.
Just got a whole.
If you're a farmer, I mean, that's got to be.
There's no way.
It's got to be an upgrade on some tractors.
Those tracks.
Those tractors are badass though, because they're just like hauling off tanks.
Dude, I'd be so pumped if I had a tank. I don't know. I would just probably. It would be like. It'd be like, it'd be super. You know how empowering having a gun is. How empowering is having a tank? Like, it must feel
you just sit in it.
You just sit in it all the time.
I don't know how I'd afford gas for it though.
And every once in a while, you'd see like a rabbit eating out of your garden, and you're just like, and point at it, and be like, "Oh yeah."
Just rotate the turret.
Just like extremely. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I can't have a tank. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're very good tanks, though. They're supposed to be, but I don't think
Is there such thing as not a good tank? I'll take any tank.
You take any tank over no tank, but like I mean, those are very expensive paperweights at this point.
Yeah, but what do you think? Diesel? It's just probably diesel, right? Fuel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can run a tank. That's fine.
Yeah, diesel.
Well, not in this economy, but used to be able to run a tank pretty good.
Not now.
No, I'd go broke trying to afford to. I wonder what the MPG is on a tank.
Well, they go like 4 miles an hour, so that's got to help.
Maybe. I don't know. What do you think those suckers have?
But they're also very heavy.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Everyone's like, and this is not what we signed up for today. Look at the MPG of a tank, guys. Here we go. If it's over 5, I'm going to be impressed.
For an M1 Abrams, that's ours. That's a United's. What the fuck?
Don't do it. It's a trick.
Fuck off of here.
No thanks.
Sorry for my language, but I don't even want to know. This is saying, what, 0.6 miles per gallon?
Holy shit. Whoa. That's not good, guys.
What? A single tank takes 10 minutes to refuel.
And it gets 0.6 miles per gallon. Oh, God.
They got to have all that armor so they don't just blow up from all the fuel they have to carry.
Jesus. What the heck?
Wonder how far a tank can go.
Well, you'd have to look at...
What is it?
The gas tank.
Range.
They're going to talk about shooting.
Wow, 68 short tons.
Oh my God.
Or 62 metric tons.
Look at that. They're going to have them electric soon, I bet. You wait. There will be a cloud come over and all the tanks will have to shut down. They'll stop fighting until the sun comes out.
Let's see. Where does it say the range? Operational range. Here we go. Can go 265 miles.
Dang. Okay. Oh, it holds 504 gallons of gas, dude.
Yeah. 265 on the road or 93 to 124 cross country.
There you go. Look at that.
Wow. Can go 30 miles an hour off road, 45 miles an hour on road.
Those suckers can go 45 miles per hour.
Well, that's an M1A1. M1A2, 42 miles an hour or 25 miles. They got slower. Why did they get slower?
I don't know, because the A2 is probably heavier.
Sean, why are they slower now? I don't want slower tanks.
Yeah, no, I'm still. I don't care if I steal a tank. I'm still keeping it in my yard. Don't care.
For sure.
There's no way I'm giving it to someone else to use.
I mean, you also don't want to make your yard a target, though.
Like,
right?
if
Dan.
you want to be a militia, hey Dan, how's it going? Like, your one person has to have a tank in their yard. Somebody.
I think that we should all have tanks in our yards.
Like, if you drove by the Dundee VFW, they got like
Get a big tank there.
Well, no, the
Cannon.
Yeah, we got a cannon in Dundee, so don't think about coming in there and trying to overtake us.
I feel like more people should have cannons.
Yeah, well, we got one, so I don't know if anyone knows how to use it.
Have you seen these little tiny cannons?
Yeah,
that shoot a BB.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
I want one. Yeah, the tank port. the thing about having a tank is you don't want to become a target either, though, right? So you do want to keep in your tank port rather than just out in the yard.
Yeah, no,
because I feel like you'd be a target for both sides, because the Russians would be like, hey, you stole that from us, you must be an enemy. And the Ukrainians would be like, hey, there's a Russian tank, let me steal it with my tractor. Do you think they're all just stealing the same tank? Just over and over, like
just tank getting passed around.
They're like, oh, I see one, let me.
No way. Dude, that tank would sit out in my front. I'd never leave the tank. I'd just always be sitting in it. I'd put me and my dog in the tank. She'd love it.
That would be awesome.
She'd be my gunner.
You'd get blown up so fast.
Yeah, it'd be over. A husky in a
you
tank.
would not survive the war.
Siberian husky in a tank. And she's Russian, so you can't trust her. So.
You'd be like at the beginning of the war movie.
I'm just ready for the news. Some jackass in his own personal tank doesn't know how to drive it, kills himself. That's what would end up happening. So
he could always.
But have you seen those suckers blow through trees? Dude, it's impressive.
Oh yeah.
They're like, it's insane.
What about the Killdozer?
Yeah, that thing was legit.
It's insane.
The only reason he got killed was, did he run out of gas?
No,
ran out of fuel?
Cooling. His cooling got messed up.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
Oh, dang. Yeah. Now, did he kill anyone? He didn't kill anyone.
No.
He just destroyed property.
Just himself. Yeah. Yeah.
That's an interesting story. So he's always glorified as the hero, and I've read on it, and I mean, it looks like it, but I don't know. Maybe there's another side.
What was his quote? Like, a man can only take so much.
Yeah.
Or no,
something like that.
It was like I try to be reasonable or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. He got fired from his job, right?
No, he tried to like do something on his own property, and the town wouldn't let him.
Oh, great. That's good.
I became unreasonable, is what he said.
Is that what it was?
I became unreasonable.
Huh. Yeah, I couldn't remember if he got fired from his job or if the town was trying to take his land from him and he refused to give it up.
Oh no. Well, let's see. Let's just Marvin Heemeyer. Not that I don't want to, Marvin Heemeyer. Let's see what happened to Marvin Heemeyer.
For violating city health ordinance after he purchased property with no sewage system. Okay.
Zoning dispute. So he purchased 2 acres of land from the Resolution Trust Corporation, the federal agency organized to handle assets of failed savings and loan associations, for $42,000 to build a muffler shop. He agreed to sell the land to Cody Doshef to build a concrete batch plant, Mountain Park Concrete, for $250,000. It's a good ROI. Yeah. Hell yeah. According to Susan Doshef, Heemeyer changed his mind and increased the price to $375,000, then to a deal worth approximately $1 million. This negotiation happened before the rezoning proposal was heard by the town council. In 2001, the zoning commission and trustees approved the construction of the concrete plant. He unsuccessfully appealed the decision, claiming the construction blocked access to his shop. And then he was fined $2,500 for not having a septic tank on the property his muffler shop occupied.
Interesting. Okay.
I think there's a little bit more to it than that.
He made 3 gun ports. Oh,
Yeah.
he was out for damage.
He ended up like in the basement of a building, I think. Pretty much madness. It was a day of madness. June 4th, 2004.
Huh. Interesting. Well, the guy's I don't know. People try to glorify him, but I got to tell you, from the looks of it, unless there's a lot more,
There's more.
Sounds like he should have just followed the rules. So.
Well, that's what you would say. You would say that. You look at this thing though. He built this in plain view, and nobody said anything. They were like, nobody was like, "Hey, what is that?"
Why would you? It's sweet. I'd be like, "What are you doing with that thing? That thing's legit." That's what I would have said.
And then he welded himself in.
Oh, he did?
Oh, he was totally. There was no way out.
Whoa.
They had to cut him out.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, here we go. Yep, fell into the basement and trapped him. Yeah, we know that. The town used eminent domain to ruin his business.
Okay, see, now that's a little different. That's what
to the benefit of the concrete plant.
If the town's using,
see, you knew there was something missing from the Wikipedia
property. Yeah,
article.
because it's like, dude, if all you have to do is get a approved septic system, like just get it done,
right?
And also the point where he sold part of the land to somebody to build a concrete plant, and then changed his mind after.
Yeah, that part's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
I think that was
so. Yeah, I hate eminent domain. It still exists. I mean,
oh yeah, well, it exists.
If the county,
you don't own your shit. That's why I keep telling people you don't own your own land.
If the county wants to take something, I guess they can take it. And I'm like, what the hell? Who would do this? Like,
and then you find out
who would do it though. Really,
they do, but they do it. So
that's why
they do it regularly.
Not us.
Right.
Yates doesn't do it. I've never heard of them using eminent domain.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. Some counties may do it, but that's crazy. Eminent domain.
$1973.
Oh, tax exemptions for 65 people. Lucky. How'd they get that?
They would no, it's people 65 and older, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it was.
You just have to live long enough to get it.
Yeah, you get the better taxes.
Hey, so I got a tick yesterday. And that was pretty unpleasant. I found it this morning.
Really?
Yeah. I was out on the outlet trail. Got a tick right here on my shoulder.
Nice.
So for everybody that asks, are the ticks out yet? Yes, they are. In fact, they're year round now. So
I can't believe
you should check yourself year round for ticks.
Can't believe when the weather the way it is, you got one. What was the weather like yesterday? The cold?
It was like 40s.
Yeah.
Maybe 40s, I want to say.
I don't know.
But
I just remember
you can get them anytime.
Reading a hunting magazine about ticks and saying like the cold weather like slows them down. They're not nearly what you have to worry about.
It used to.
Summer. Yeah. So
it used to, but they're year round. I've gotten them every month of the year. They're year round.
Well,
I went out and surveyed my domain.
Your domain?
My domain. The Rahr land.
What's a Kilo versus New London that Dan's talking about? Do you know? Hello? Hey, Jeff?
In Connecticut. Supreme Court case involving the use of eminent domain to transfer land from one private owner to another private owner. to further economic development.
What?
So I wonder if that's what happened.
Dude, no way.
Like, here, we need a mall, so we're going to take your farmland and give it to the mall.
No way. That's crazy. Okay. I'll have to look more up about that later.
Not sure what that specific.
That's pretty interesting. I've never heard of it.
The fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. What was the exact? Let's see. The court's decision: the city allowed a private developer to proceed with its plans. However, the developer was unable to obtain financing and abandoned the project, and the contested land remained undeveloped, empty lot in 2022. That's now, folks.
You got to be kidding me.
So
Since
after
2005.
all that, 17 years later, it's not even developed. Like, they took the guy's land.
Wow.
Man, that is.
Yeah. I might build a killdozer for that if somebody stole my land.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's in the public interest. Yeah, that's kind of like what was.
Wow.
It sounds like what was going on down. There was a eminent domain case recently down south. I think it might still be ongoing, where they were trying to take a. It was like a group living scenario. It's old folks. It's like 8 or 10 old folks living in this building, house, whatever, and kind of in the downtown area. And they wanted to take that to, I believe, build like a farmer's market or something. And
Really?
they wanted, like, these people who this is their home, they wanted to take them out of their home so they could have a farmer's market down there. Meanwhile, like, there was other land there, like, that they could, you know what, the village lawyer's office was right next door. Could have taken that.
No, they don't wanna
Village
take
hall was
that.
right next door. Could have taken that. If
That's
it was
wild.
if it,
Little Pink House. Okay.
All right, Little Pink House, folks. Everybody watch Little Pink House.
That sounds pretty interesting.
And also look up some YouTube videos of the killdozer.
Have you so you ever heard of adverse possession laws?
Adverse possession laws.
So, I mean, I can tell you what it is.
Tell me.
It's like
Tell the listeners.
when you mow your neighbor's property and maintain it over a certain amount of time legally, you can take them to court and try to claim ownership over it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's another one that's pretty interesting to me. So
yeah, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could have gotten off my land in the first place.
It's like, I didn't ask you to mow my lawn, bro. Like, go get out of here. So yeah, it's I don't know. I was looking it up. I seen like maybe a couple cases where it was like, okay, it makes sense. Like somebody thought they owned the land forever and the other person thought they owned it and they used it and built stuff on it and had all their stuff, and then they went and got a survey and they're like, hey, actually you don't own it. And it's like, well, I've kind of been using it, and even he thought it was mine, and I posted.
We all thought it was mine.
It was all posted as mine, and he posted his boundary. Yeah, and that one was pretty interesting. And then there's some where people really do just like mow somebody's strip of land.
Yeah,
and think they're maintaining it. So
there's I read some advice about something similar to that a while back, that basically you should go walk your property lines and like at least once a year and video it.
Really?
Just to prove that you are using that land.
Yeah. In New York, eminent domain or adverse possession isn't like, I don't think it's ever been, anyone's ever won. So it's like our Supreme Court and appellate court have never even.
They're like, come on.
Yeah. So
obviously
New York's not bad. But the one thing that has happened is you have to make sure your land is posted every
40 feet.
Is that what it is?
I believe.
I can't remember the exact footage. But if you don't and somebody trespasses and gets hurt, you get sued. I had no clue. Because it's wild. It's insane. I can't remember. I was at 2 a.m. when you're just like looking at stuff that you have no reason why you're looking at it. That was one of the things. So
I'm not sure if that's true.
It came about because I was watching like hunting dogs, like coyote, raccoon, whatever hunt dogs, how they go on people's properties and stuff. And if it's not posted, you can get sued if the person gets hurt on it. There was a case, I think it was up in Maine. Somebody got sued over it. So
I should put up posted signs on my land.
Definitely should
I don't
post
have
it.
any.
Yeah.
I like to leave it natural.
Let it be natural.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't know if you can get in trouble in New York, but it was pretty interesting. I was like, what? You got to like post every freaking inch of your property to prove it's yours? Wild.
People are crazy. We got to get some. I'll tell you what, though, we need to get some possums out there.
Possums to eat
Take
the
care of
ticks.
these ticks.
Dude, possums are sketchy.
'Cause I got a tick, and somebody else that was with me got a tick.
Hmm.
So they're out.
You ever been near 'em when they play dead?
What now?
You ever been near a possum when it plays dead?
Oh, possum. I thought we were still talking about ticks. I was like, a tick
No.
plays dead. Possum playing dead. No, I've been around them when they've played alive, though.
Yeah. So they're pretty mean when they're alive, when they play alive. But when they play dead, like, so my dog like had it in his mouth, like brings over this possum. I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" And I was like, "Get rid of that thing." I tried to like get it from him, and he's like, and then drops the possum. And I was like, go to get a shovel to like take him and throw him in the woods. And this sucker jumped up and was ready for battle.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, what is going on,
You,
dude?"
you got the teeth.
Yeah, I had to grab the dog because we keep possums around because they kill snakes and ticks.
Yeah.
They're pretty impressive.
They're great.
But they are vicious. Oh, what the heck?
Oh, that was a weird sound.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know what video was on.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah, you
That
don't
was
want to know.
weird.
You don't want to.
I just heard.
I don't think it was that.
I was like, what is going on?
I was watching YouTube videos on a girl teaching people how to. It was like can or dehydrate because I'm gonna start becoming a prepper. So,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I want to learn how to dehydrate foods and can them.
You're going to dehydrate them and can them?
I'm going to dehydrate certain foods.
Okay.
And then I'm going to can certain foods.
For World War III.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I know.
Because Biden says that Putin should not remain in power.
Oh, God. Here we go. I bet you Putin says the same thing about Biden.
You think so?
I know so. If I could speak Russian.
What do you think? He's obviously got different reasoning.
Yeah, well.
I don't think Putin hates Biden being in power.
When I was in Jamaica, I was with these, like, there was German kids and some kids from England. And I was like 18, and we were all talking about, like, school. This was a boring vacation, obviously.
How old are you when you graduate?
And they were talking about how they're taught like English propaganda, like the United States propaganda in high school, like how we're taught, like how Germany was in the World War. They're taught like about our propaganda now. It was interesting. So,
like, okay, like they're not taught it like they get propagandized. They like learn about the propaganda,
about our propaganda, yeah, and how we use propaganda to attack for like their countries and stuff. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, no, and I was like, the only time we learned about propaganda is like World War II, World War One, not current propaganda, but it was something that was taught in their history classes. Not history, global or whatever they called it. I don't know what it was.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
We should be teaching that. We should be teaching, except for who runs the schools?
The Department of Education.
Yeah, they're not gonna teach us about the fact that we're using propaganda on ourselves.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know that each state. I looked into it because we have Mennonite schools in our town, and I was like, hey, who do I go to when it comes to doing inspections? And because you have to like mail in inspections every time you inspect a school for fire code, and I couldn't figure out like where. But anyways, I started looking, and yeah, I guess each state has their own Department of Education. There's no like, I thought the country had like a standard.
They do.
The country does have a standard.
Both,
okay,
right? So there's a New York State Department of Education, and then there's an illegitimate United States Department of Education that Jimmy Carter started. And I think Jimmy Carter. It wasn't Nixon, was it?
Well, I didn't know that there was a. I was just shocked to see if there was that our state, like, decided all this stuff.
Oh yeah, the state. Yeah, big time. 1980. Jimmy Carter. Yep, Jimmy Carter started the Department of Education. I'm still for abolishing You know, like what it comes down to with a lot of these things, both from the U.S. Department of Education level and the State Department of Education level, is that they put all these like weird rules in that make it so that you really can't do as good of a job educating the students because you're trying so hard to like follow all the rules. And then you're also spending a huge portion of your budget on administrators
Huge
to
portion.
ensure that you're in compliance with the rules that they made. That's why Larry Sharp was talking about. He said, you know, we'd be, I want to say like it's a massive number. I'm not sure if it's a million or billion. I want to say billion, but like $60 billion that we would lose from the U.S. Department of Education if we stopped following all their rules.
Whoa.
But that we could probably make that back up by eliminating the administrators who are ensuring that we're following those rules. We would still have enough administrators to make sure that our schools are doing a good job,
Right.
like doing what they need to do, the functions of educators. You know, the teachers are experts in education, and
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need multiple.
they're just being dictated what they're allowed to say and not.
Yeah. You don't need multiple administrators. That's for sure. Yeah. There's something to be said. Do you need an administrator for anything? I mean, I've heard many arguments for, you know, hey, you're hiring people to do a job. Do they really need to be babysat? And it's like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Anybody I've hired at any of my places, which aren't big corporations, usually do a damn good job. They don't need to be babysat and
No,
told
but
what
I
to
do
do.
think
So I don't know. Yeah.
there needs to be somebody that
The owner.
is accountable for everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
right?
owner should be accountable for
Yeah,
everything.
because you get situations like what happened in Waterloo. I'm just throwing that out there. I could Auburn, maybe Auburn, somewhere in like
Seneca County.
north and east of here. That there was a high school where they had a SRO that was having like, I think an SRO was having maybe inappropriate communications or relationships with like a 14-year-old girl that was a student.
Whoa.
It's like,
gross.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
But you got to have somebody that can say, knock that shit off, get out, like right now, and call the police. I know that the teachers can call the police.
Well, there's something to be said for one main administrator. But like Dan said, I don't know if you read that, but I don't. It's 6-1 sounds. It almost sounds not believable, Dan.
6-1.
It sounds like that's made up, and I'm not saying it is. It's just like, how the hell can a school district? How can a town board or a city board approve that?
Board of well, that's the other thing is you have actual like school district board of education.
Yeah, and they're supposed to like,
and they're the ones that.
But you as a city or town or village vote on this on the budget for the school,
right? But it goes through the school board.
Yeah, but you would think these people would be like, "What the hell?
Exactly.
We don't need this many administrators."
But the reason that they do that is because they check a box, and they have to check those boxes because otherwise they lose that funding.
Interesting.
And it's a vicious cycle, and that's why if we stop taking that money and find other ways to make it up, and also like make these massive cuts to the budget because he says 6-1 administrators. That's got to be educators to administrators. It's got to be the other way around.
Okay, yeah,
right, like 6 teachers per administrator.
Yeah, even that sounds crazy.
That's ridiculous, right?
That's why the 6-1, I was like, whoa.
But if you take it that way, imagine the difference between the teacher pay and the administrator pay.
Oh, it's
probably like
enormous.
The administrators are probably making almost
figures.
As much as all 6 of the, at least 2 of those teachers combined.
Yeah,
maybe 3, maybe 4.
You'd probably say
maybe even 5.
I know Dundee's superintendent when I was in high school. No, 6 administrators.
6 administrators per educator. Okay, Dan, I'm gonna need to. I need an example of this that I can show because
that's wild.
That's too much.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to our superintendent, I think she was like $120,000 a year at Dundee. Dundee. Like, you don't need to be paid that much. There's not that many students. It's
How long had she been there?
I don't know, probably 20 years. She was there for a while.
That's how it happens.
But 2010, that's a lot of money in 2010.
I've seen gym teachers making six figures just because they worked there long enough. Like, that's, if you look at let's see through so there's see-through New York.
Whoa, what is this?
.net, and you can look up how much people make.
Whoa.
If they're in certain, I think maybe it's just teachers. But so let's see, Dundee. I'll go Dundee. Dundee. I don't want to like call somebody out.
Yeah, no.
But
I'll
we'll
just look at it.
Do it without the names.
Oh, it doesn't show their names.
So their 25th percentile is 51,000. Their 75th percentile is 64,000. They've got, what's the 72,000 is what? The 95th percentile. But then let's go over here. Dundee.
There you
Dundee. And then, okay, but I should be able to.
Oh, you can even look by county. This is pretty interesting, man.
Yeah. Let's see, clear. How do I?
Why do they do this?
Why do they do this?
Yeah.
Why do they show it?
Yeah.
Because these are tax dollars.
Okay, so they have to. Their income is
search
foilable.
I used to be able to, let's see through New York. How do I get? Is it payrolls? So let's see, employer Dundee. Central schools.
Oh, there's our administrator.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people making six. You got 149, almost 150,000 is the highest paid. You've got 120 and a half. You got 120. You got 119. And those are the top 4. And then it goes down to 87, 83, 82, 78, 78.
Wow.
And these are all listed as educator. Yeah. So I don't know what their actual.
They're all teachers.
I don't know these people.
I know all of them.
So there's a teacher making 150.
And then that's one of the top ones is a gym teacher.
Wow.
So
yeah,
these are all teachers.
So if they're there long enough.
No, the 150 is not a teacher. The 150,
that's an administrator.
First 4 are administrators.
Okay.
Yeah. But these are all teachers.
Look at 6. Then you finally, it takes a while before you get down below 60,000. Boom, 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 boom.
So, do you not think that teachers are underpaid like they push, or do you think they are?
I think it's tricky because I think that teachers are paid to do a job, and then you break it down by hour, and it's pretty good money by the like teachers in theory get. And so here's what I'll say. I know one teacher that explained it to me perfectly, that teachers get fantastic pay. And here's why. Because if they just get their ass to work while they're at work, and I know it's hard, teaching different things is harder than other things. But if they take all of their free time during work and just make sure that they don't have to take anything home, then they get paid fantastic. Because they work what is it, 140 days, 180 days, maybe 180 days out of the year.
How long summer break?
They get off from the middle of June until September.
June, yeah. So you're talking.
They get every single weekend off. Yeah. they get,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, some teachers do pick up like summer school. I don't know if that's
but
like
that's
you
separate.
have
That's
to.
separate.
Oh, is that volunteer stuff?
No, you get paid, but you
Yeah, that's
get
what I'm
paid
saying.
more.
I didn't know if it was like a rotation or you had to volunteer. I didn't
Yeah,
know how
so
it
I'm not
worked.
saying, but if you do it, if you're a teacher and you can go, and I'm not a teacher, so I mean somebody correct me, but if you can go to your job and finish your job before you have to come home,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you get paid really well.
Yeah.
Especially considering that, I mean, starting pay, that's like, those are good paying jobs, and
$60,000
they've
is
got
nothing to
the
laugh
summer
at.
off, and they've got weekends off, and I know they have to do continuing education. So do I know they have to do some kind of prep outside of work sometimes. So do I. Like, I think they get paid pretty well. And the thing that nobody really talks about that much, with the public school teachers, is then they get that nice pension too. That's like,
And tenure.
it's
Tenure's
crazy.
the best thing about teaching.
Um,
We had a
yeah,
teacher on tenure in our school who allegedly enough, he got taken out of the school, was doing something with a girl inappropriately. And instead of, they couldn't fire him because he was tenured. So he got put out into this like back office in the school and he wasn't allowed to be around students, but
that's
they
insane.
couldn't fire him
That's insane.
because I don't know, maybe
Because
there
they
were
didn't have enough evidence.
enough evidence or anything. Yeah. So, and supposedly did it in front of other students and stuff like that.
And they've also got the union that fights for them too.
It's crazy.
Like, around every corner.
whoa, 10 years, no joke. No wonder why they fight to get their tenure
Yeah.
because like you're stuck in once you
Yeah.
get it.
Well, and that's why, there's a big push for educational freedom right now, especially with, us libertarians. There's a lot of push for educational freedom, and what they're talking about is things like, being able to choose what school you go to, um, especially private schools and homeschooling. There's a huge push for homeschooling because people realize that they could have the job done of teaching the kids everything that they need to teach them for a day, a couple hours,
Yeah.
and then have the rest of the day to teach them real life stuff or do other things.
I wish there was more of a, like, I feel like once you get up to a certain grade level, you should start letting people path out to
Yeah.
learn what they want to learn because I'll never forget like going to trigonometry in high school. I was like, bullshit, I'll ever do this. Like, I'm not even interested in it. And
Mhm.
maybe someday if I got a career that was, I'd have to go back and learn. Oh well, but it's like, and I never used it and I
Yeah.
never will. I can understand where you cover a base. Like everyone should get a base education to a grade level and then start letting people, because I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's like, oh, kids don't know what they want to do. Most kids
It's
actually,
true.
most kids actually end up going with their first thought, but later on they keep changing their mind, but they'll go back to what like where they come from, their family, what they know. It's just
Yeah.
what people do. So it'd be nice to kind of let kids just, hey, go check this out. Go
Yeah.
check this out before it costs you $30,000 a semester.
Mhm.
It's like,
There's a school over in, I want to say, like, maybe Naples, that does, and I'm going to throw out a whole bunch of details that are maybe inaccurate, but I believe it's in Naples, and I believe that, like, either 6th or 7th grade or 8th grade, somewhere in there, they can take a year and just do um like nature-based education, and just go learn about, like, they come and help stock the trout
oh,
in the outlet, and they just, I heard the kid, last time, it was awesome. They were walking up the trail, and the teacher shouted, "Hey, aren't you kids supposed to be in school?" And, like, half the kids shouted back, "We are in school." And I was like, "That is awesome." Like, imagine when you're 12 years old to be able to just go spend a year actually being outside learning about nature instead of trying to learn it from a book.
yeah.
I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah. There's something to be said. I think it's a United States thing because if you look at other countries, it looks like they beat us on opportunities in schooling and college. We're just so linear. It's always like, no, you go from point A to point B.
Well,
That's what we do,
we
and
try
that's
to
what you
make it
learn.
one size fits all.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, one size clearly doesn't fit all.
No.
It's
No.
and there's not competition because that school knows that you have to come there.
Yeah.
And they're going to get your money whether you do or not.
Yeah.
So they don't have any need to compete as far as like being the I mean, obviously there's pride.
Right.
But they don't have all the forces of competition to drive them to be better than the next school over or to offer something unique that will draw people there. Private schools do.
Right.
I mean, when I was working at that private school in Minnesota, they had top level coaching for athletes. They had top level teachers for certain subjects, bioscience, conservatory.
But they're getting extreme. A school you were in, you're talking a prep school. I mean, that was like
they're kids.
that's
but Jesse, they're kids.
The hockey prep school, though.
It is.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're getting a shit ton of money from these families and people donating money that went to school there and stuff like that.
Well, sure. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they're kids. So like you're not getting. You do get talented kids, obviously. You get talented kids, but I don't know, that's like part of what makes it great is that you can like be great and go focus on the thing that you want to be even greater at.
Yeah.
They had engineering.
No, I'm not
like for
I'm
kids
not talking bad about it. I'm just saying it's like when you're the school for something like that, it's almost hard to even put it against anything.
But that's what I disagree with those. I think you can, because I think when you look at that type of school, there's other ones. Like there are other choices. There are students that went to that school and then decided to go someplace else. There are ones that were going someplace else and decided to go there because, they had the bio program that they wanted to be in, or, like they can compete with different types of programs. Like they can say, look, we brought in this great person that knows about whatever so-and-so. And so now we're going to focus on that. And we're going to make sure that anybody that comes here for that is going to get a great education. That's just interesting to me.
You caught that. Sorry, we're reading something.
I appreciate you, JP. Yeah, no, and I think I threw that in there. I know I didn't talk about that a lot, but yeah, teachers are working at home, are working on weekends. So do I. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to diminish what they're doing in that case, but I know teachers who are able to get their stuff done. And if you can get it done, then it's a pretty good paying job. And I think even if you can't get it done, it's still a pretty good paying job.
I think it counts like a lot of it counts like what you're teaching as well, I imagine. Like how much prep work is there for gym class or how much prep work is there for, I don't know, basic anything compared to how much prep work goes into the physics teacher, I mean, and grading papers and, because that's like, oh shit, even for them, I'm sure is like, whoa.
When I was teaching anatomy, I was like going home and reading all night and then coming back and teaching and then going home and reading and then coming back and teaching. And it's like, I was just fully immersed in making sure that I could do the best job I could at that thing.
Yeah.
So I understand that, teachers, depending on what they're teaching and depending on how much experience they have teaching that particular course and other things like that, yeah, of course.
Chooses what they want to study.
Well, that would be interesting.
Nice.
So there's a homeschooling program that people are fired up about which is a democratic education. That's a small d. That's what she said. Which basically means the child chooses what they want to study. You want to go outside? Awesome. You want to read 100 novels? Great. That's cool. That's interesting. As long as you can cover the types of skills that you need to cover, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, no, I also appreciate Mr. Collins and Newbie, because I'm not a teacher. I don't know anything about it. The only thing I can say is what I'm told is 10 years awesome, and that's about it. But yeah, I don't really know what goes into the job. I can't say. No one in my family has ever been a teacher, and I don't know how tough it is and what goes on. But I know summers off must be nice. So that's got to be killer. Because going to work on a 90-degree day when that sun's shining and the lawn's grown an inch and a half overnight, and you're like, oh, I need a beer and a lawnmower today. Yeah.
Well, I will say that for all the whatever, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, that to make we looked at what the salaries were in a small town.
Yeah.
And anywhere in that range of what all of them were making, to make that and then have the summer off when you could, in theory, you could do another job, or you could relax, or you could travel, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like, you're not poor,
No, you're definitely, I don't think anyone's poor.
Teachers they're not poor.
That's why Mary wanted to be the school nurse so bad.
Yeah.
Because summers. That was like her one drive. She was going to take a major pay cut, but she's like, screw it. For summers off, I'll be in like the school nurse. Like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And she's like, I could just go work per diem in the summer if I wanted to. But that was like her big drive. And I'm like, you're doing it for 3 months off. And she's like, yeah. Yeah, that summers are where it's at. So, think about it. We have 4 or 5 months here where you don't even want to leave your house.
Yeah. And we got 4 or 5 months where you don't even want to go home.
Yeah. It's like in between, so it's like you try to soak up all you can. Yeah. Now maybe down south it's a little different, because if you're in Miami, Florida, January is pretty nice. So yeah. But
is it?
It's great.
Have you been there?
South Florida in January. Yeah. It's like 80. Perfect.
Just right all the time.
Yeah. We went down last year, then went to Key West, and we're in Miami, and like it's just like gorgeous, not too hot. Because I can imagine Miami, July's like your fried egg, like done. Yeah, it was perfect. So
yeah, I don't think I would survive.
No, I don't think so.
I'd have to get a bigger hat.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I gotta go to the distillery.
Okay. Hey, can you tell us quickly what's happening?
There's a food truck at the distillery today. If anyone's heading up and wants to yell at Phil or I about our take on teaching, Phil will be there to take any feedback and criticism.
Punishment.
Yeah, at noon, Chris B's. He's got one crazy thing on the menu: a honey bun burger. Honey bun burger.
Honey bun burger.
That'll be interesting. So,
all right.
Hey.
Thanks, okay. Jesse. We'll see you in a bit.
Guys.
Who's there? It's Rahr. Who's there? It's Rahr. Come fill your time. This pod's for all. From the Finger Lakes, join in the call. Learn something new about the Cuca Trail, upstate New York. Every episode of tell. Who's there? It's Rahr. Who's there? It's Rahr. It's Rahr.